Hi everybody, Hania here with the video summary for February 24th board meeting, which just happened this last week. I want to thank the JROTC from Memorial High School that came over and did the whole ceremony for the posting of the colors, and they're under the leadership of Colonel Greg Barak. Thank you again so much for coming that evening. After that, I want to thank the representatives from CHAMPS, which is a mentoring program for 12-year-old and up and older African-American and Latinx males. The program works on education, empowerment, and exposure, and they did a presentation and talked about the training that they just did with several key males in our city to train them in CHAMPS. So thanks again for coming. Then on to the consent agenda. Remember, consent and action agendas are the agendas that we vote on those items that are listed, whether to approve or not. And then we will have our last agenda, which is the information agenda, and that's the agenda where we ask a lot of questions, but we do not vote on those items. So on the consent agenda for this last board meeting, we approved the items as they were listed, and that included field trips for McLean High School students, Carver's Women of Power students, and Booker T. Washington seniors. We also approved the MOU with the Opportunity Project, an agreement with Tulsa Parks for Thoreau's Wolf 5K Run and Fun Walk, which is on April 11th. We approved a contract with Kincaid Coach Lines to transport McLean students to visit a university in Arkansas that they're interested in. Also, a contract with Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence to train staff in how to implement the Ruler program, which is a socio-emotional learning type program. We also approved an agreement with TU so that the district could use Phillips Hall building for this summer's high school Kravis summer art camp. We did two things regarding policies. One was delete policy 4804, since it was only necessary during a pilot from the Oklahoma State Department of Education. It's no longer necessary. And adopt policy 4413 to provide clear guidance regarding personal and professional interactions at work. We also approved encumbrances, changes, and routine staffing items, plus approved contracts for the secure entries at Carver Middle School and Project Accept, and the interior renovations at Patrick Henry Elementary. And last but not least, at just the boundary of Cooper Elementary School that we talked about in my last video. Regarding the action agenda, we did not have any action agenda items, which is, it's not the first time, but it's usually not the case. So we will move on to the information agenda items, and the following are recommendations for which we ask questions, but we also want your feedback and your input before we are asked to vote on them. So the first one is a recommendation to enter into a contract with Junior League of Tulsa to host East Central's prom, which will be on May 2nd. Also, a contract with Campbell Hotel to host Nathan Hale's high school prom on April 11th. Another contract with Kincaid Coach Lines to transport McLean students to visit a university, but we just approved the one to Arkansas. This one would be a trip to Kansas, and again, is for a university that they've expressed interest in. The next one is a recommendation to name the field house at McLean High School Tulsa McLean Athletics Center, name the basketball court Bolton Pigs Court, the hospitality suite Joe Shoulders Hospitality Suite, and the entrance to the gym Tatia Brown Commons area. Then a recommendation to enter into an MOU with the YMCA Go Club to offer that program at Hamilton, Kendall Whittier, Clinton West, Cooper, McClure, and Whitman elementary schools this summer. Then a recommendation to purchase musical instrument for various sites to the selected vendor. A contract with Grade Minds to provide the district access to professional development sessions regarding the math curriculum that's used. Also enter into a multi-agency agreement to support City Lab. Approve several booster clubs at Booker T. Washington and at Edison high schools. And then there were some amendments for the interior renovations at Edison and the new stadium at Rogers College, and contracts for interior renovations at Patrick Henry, Salk Elementary, contracts to improve the Carver Middle School Stadium, and to resurface the tracks at S.E. Williams, LaFortune, and Rogers Stadiums. Those were all the agenda items that we covered this last Monday. Just a reminder or a note that on February 13th, the district staff presented their staffing plan to the board for next year. The board actually approved a motion to table that vote until February 18th to ensure that everybody had enough time to really dig in and understand the plan. On February 18th, the board met and approved the staffing plan. Unfortunately, I was out of state for work, so I was unable to be at that special board meeting. But if I would have been there, I would have abstained due to some conflicts, personal conflicts with some areas of the plan. Just a reminder that the next board meeting will be March 9th at 6:30. It's not this Monday, it is the following Monday, the second Monday of March, and it'll be at 6:30 at the Education Service Center. Please remember, if you have any questions, any thoughts, any suggestions, any feedback that you would like to express to a board member, you can contact any board member. You can contact me via Facebook Messenger. Thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed this nice weather weekend. And with a change of weather, make sure your kiddos are ready for that, and that we keep an eye out for allergies. Have a great rest of your Sunday.